Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kirsten and this is Small Bobbins. So today I'm starting a new series where I'm going to be going through a bunch of free underwear patterns. This is something I noticed that a lot of pattern makers seem to be putting out free underwear patterns, and as a beginning lingerie sewist, it's really nice that so many people are offering these free patterns. It allows you to kind of see what their drafting is like, but it's really difficult to get an idea of how all of these different patterns fit, and I found myself really overwhelmed at all of the options. I have like 6 or 7 different patterns, and so I thought, wouldn't it be great to just go through all of them and tell you guys what they're like, how the fit is, and what the cut is on them. And so I'm probably going to break this into a couple different videos. I'll go through all of the different patterns that I'll be reviewing, what my sizes are, how do you prepare the patterns, the different supplies that you need, and then I'll go through and really kind of compare what each of the different patterns looks like. Are there any kind of exceptional ways of constructing them? And yeah, in the final video I'll just show you what they look like. I mean, I'll try to keep it as PG as possible, but I think that's really kind of the point, is to see what do these underwear patterns look like on a human body. So yeah, I'm excited to go through all of them, and let's jump in. So let me tell you about the patterns that I'll be using. The first one is the Noelle by Madeline Intimates, and actually I'm going to be doing 2 versions of this because she somewhat recently updated the free pattern to have more variations. So it's a high-waisted panty, but now she also has variations for a thong and also kind of a cutout back. It's really cute with a little strap. And so I'm going to make the thong version and kind of the original high-waisted panty version. For high-waisted panties, I also have the Maxine panties by Evie La Louve. And then I also have the Be Bashful Bikini by At First Blush patterns. The Stevie Knickers by Paper Theory. This one doesn't really have a name, but it's from the blog Sozo What Do You Know? You may know her best as kind of the creator of Me Made May, and she has a free, she calls it pants, she has a free underwear pattern on her blog. And so I've got that one. The Hipster Panties. It's a free pattern that you can find on the website Make Bra. The Rosy Lady Shorts pattern by Cloth Habit. The Acacia Panties by Megan Nielsen. And then last I have the Celeste Bikini by Olulu. And so for all of these patterns, most of them you can find them directly on the designers' websites. You may have to go through a checkout process, but all of the ones that I mentioned are still free and still available at the time that I did the filming. This is in January 2019. A couple of them will require that you sign up for their newsletter, which is kind of a small price to pay to be able to get a free pattern. So, you know, I think it's a nice trade-off. Some of them are just available as instant downloads on their blogs or websites. I'll have the links to all of these patterns in the description, and I'll also have them all rounded up on a blog post that will tie in with this video series. Okay, so I'm just going to be looking at my computer, it's right off screen here, to figure out what size I am in each of the patterns. So my natural waist is around 75 centimeters. My hips are around 98 centimeters. Let me see. So I'm just going to open up the instructions for each of them. Let me start out with the Celeste Panties by Olulu. So I'm going to choose the size medium, and we'll see how that goes. Next we have the Maxine Panties by Evie La Louve. So this is a high-waisted panty pattern. If you're making a lower cut panty, this isn't going to be as important, because, you know, if the sides are only like that big, then they're probably going to be pretty close to your hip measurements anyway. But for something like this, if you make it too small on the waist, especially if you have a big difference between your waist and your hips, then you won't be able to stretch out the panties to actually get them over your butt. In this case, I do fall into the medium size, so I think it should be okay. Next we have the Acacia Panties by Megan Nielsen pattern. So the medium waist measurement is 76 centimeters. The hip is 102, which is kind of big. The small is 97. I'm debating if I want to kind of grade down at the hips. I think maybe what I'll do is cut the medium, and then based on a first fit, I might kind of go back in with my serger and just like shave a bit off of the hips if it turns out to be a bit too big, because I don't really want to fuss around with grading down from the medium to the small at the hips. I'd rather just cut out one size and kind of see how it works from there. Okay, and so next we have the Hipster Panties by Make Bra. They probably have one of the more limited size ranges out of all of these patterns, so it's only 4 sizes, so small, medium, large, and extra large. And so that goes from a hip measurement of 88 centimeters to 118. And so for my measurements, it's going to stick me at a medium. I think we are seeing a trend here. Another good thing to know with this pattern is that it doesn't include seam allowances. And so it doesn't really matter because the waist and the leg openings are finished with fold over elastic, so you don't actually need a seam allowance with that. But for the side seams and for attaching the front to the back, you will need to add some seam allowances. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a smaller finished garment than intended. Next, this is the pants pattern, undies, knickers, however you want to call them, from Sozo What Do You Know? For this one, the instructions are on her blog, so you have to go there to check out sizing, materials needed, and general instructions for assembling them. She doesn't actually give sizes to correspond with your measurement. It's available in UK sizes 8 to 16, and then she gives you a little conversion chart. So if you know what size you generally wear for underwear, then you just kind of convert it to the UK size. This is very easy if you are already in the UK. So for me, my European size is typically like a 40, which would be a 12 in UK sizing. Next, we have the Be Bashful Bikini by At First Blush Pattern Company. She gives you the high hip and the low hip measurements. I don't know what my high hip measurement is, but my waist and my low hip both fall in the medium, so I'm just gonna go with that one. Okay, next we have the Noelle high-waisted panties by Madeline Intimates. Natural waist, she says 27 to 29 inches is a medium, and 29 to 31 inches is a large. And she says if you are between sizes, I suggest sizing up. So that would tell me to probably stick with the large. And then my hip measurement, 38.5 inches, which puts me in the medium. So maybe I will make the medium, and then we can all say I told you so if it turns out to be too small. Next we have the Stevie Knickers by Paper Theory. This one, you're only picking your size based on your waist measurement. And so for me, the size 12 says 74 centimeters, so I'm just gonna go with that one. The next size up is the 14, and that's for 79 centimeter waist measurement, so I think that's a little too big, so I'll just go with the 12. And then the last one, we have the Rosy Lady Shorts by Cloth Habit. I've already forgotten what my imperial measurements are. Okay, 29.5 and 38.5. Between a 6 and an 8. If I'm using a very stretchy jersey, I should probably go with the 6, and then if I'm using a less stretchy jersey, I should probably go with the 8. Maybe I'll go through my stash and kind of see what I have, and then based on what I have, I'll kind of figure out which size works best for this one. So I'll cut either a 6 or an 8.